So what you're about to see are couples, real couples, who have experienced postpartum depression and how they identified it, how they sought out help, and what they did to get through this.
I think I was hiding a lot of my feelings from everybody.
You're supposed to be all happy and love your baby, and that's not how I felt.
I was way beyond being able to cope with what was happening to me.
You see it in the books and you read about it, you're like, well, that can't happen to us because we're highly competent people.
I knew that there was a problem bigger than what I could handle and what I could control on my own, and so I needed to do something about it.
Like everybody else, the first few weeks was difficult. And then for me, it was after the first few weeks that around, again, the 1 month, 6 week mark that I started to really feel that things were sliding.
The lack of sleep was just so detrimental to me. I was really suffering, and I just knew that something was off, and I knew that it wasn't just the blues.
The first one was probably about 3 months postpartum, and we were hosting a potluck with our neighbors. And I remember through the middle and to the end just feeling completely defeated, that I couldn't handle this. I was not having a good time. I couldn't keep up with the normal activity level, and I wasn't having fun. And after it was over, I felt like a mess.
I just remember actually having friends over, and they were like, "Don't you just love being a mom?" And I was just like, "Yes, I do." And inside I was like, "No, I don't."
I was having a lot of trouble sleeping, crying a lot during the day when I was by myself with him. Finally, one day, I put him in his crib, and I was crying, and he was crying, and I called Jeremy's sister, who lives close by, and I said, "You need to come and take him, because I don't want to be with him right now."
Postpartum depression is a mood disorder that manifests as mood changes, sometimes anxiety, sometimes depression, sometimes insomnia, unable to sleep at all. And at the same time, the family is very concerned usually.
I knew that something was off. I had no idea what was off, but I knew that something wasn't right. And I just kept chalking it up to, oh, she's a new mom, this is the way it's supposed to be.
I kind of felt like I couldn't really talk about it because everyone else seemed to be doing well. And if I, said, what, this is really hard, or harder than I thought, I felt like I'd be like, what are you talking about?
I think I was in denial for quite a while, because I think I started to notice that there was a problem when he was 4 months old. But I didn't see the doctor till he was 6 months old.
I worked really hard to present a good, happy mom picture, and because I didn't want to admit it, so I kept it from everyone.
I really did feel ashamed at the beginning, and I was trying to hide it and trying to act happy and not doing a good job, but
I did feel a little bit embarrassed that it got to what I can now qualify as postpartum depression.
Unfortunately, my family doctor didn't see that it was as much of an issue as it was. And it did end up being a crisis a couple of days later. And then I sought out the assistance of a crisis intervention team at a hospital.
We know that there's risk of suicide. It can turn into a psychosis where they really lose touch with reality. They may hear voices. They may just feel like they want to hurt themselves or hurt the baby. And those are emergencies. Those are real problems.
It's a slippery slope from feeling like things are great to feeling like you're in a black place.
I was suicidal. It was almost like an out-of-body experience, because I knew what was happening to me was not normal. It didn't feel normal.
It's a medical condition that needs to be treated. It's not something that you can wish away or will away, and it needs to be treated in different ways. It needs to be treated with medication. It needs to be treated, like Stu said, with emotional support, proper nutrition, and exercise.
Don't be afraid to express how you're feeling. There's nothing to be shamed about.
I think the first thing is just to know that you're not alone. You need to have awareness of it. So awareness is the first defense. So knowing that it's possible, and knowing that there are support systems out there, and knowing that there are other partners out there who are going through the same challenges that you might be.
It's something that needs to be taken very seriously. Something that we discussed in the support group that I was in. Many women came in, they felt the same way that I did coming into the group, that they felt very defeated by, that they actually got postpartum depression. Like, it's something that you've got a choice in. You don't have a choice whether you're going to get postpartum depression or not. I mean, it just happens. There's not a lot you can do there's nothing you can do to prevent it at the end of the day.
I mean, the key message here is that postpartum depression is a real illness. I think that the folks at home who are supporting the mother, whether it be the dad, the grandparents, uncles, aunts, friends, have to take it seriously and have to help in whatever way they can to get help for the mom and the family. The impact of not treating depression can be very, very dramatic and serious, not only on the mom, but the whole family for years to come.